Mr. Akiri,
yes.
Let's look at the President's remark as regards sending the report back to the National Assembly.
Yes.
In the mandate that was given to the advisory committee, he said, one of them said that they are to recommend the way the results will be inculcated or imputed into the Constitution.
Yes.
Now, sending it back to the National Assembly, would that not be preempting, as Mark said earlier?
Well, I'm happy you remember he said so. That when the report is sent to the National Assembly, the recommendations in the report will be, every person, all Nigerians should plead with their assembly members to, bring this thing, put this thing, what the recommendations in the Constitution. I mean, are we amending the Constitution? We are talking of serious matters. You see, this Constitution, we say, should be set aside completely. We have a brand new Constitution. It's not a question of the recommendations of the conference being put inside this same Constitution.
Now, with
that
this,
would be,
if
that
I'm
would
becoming
be putting old wine into new bottles, or new wine into a new bottle.
If these results come out, the results of the conference and all that, if they come out,
yes,
would that end the tenure of the serving leaders? Should it end their tenure, or would they be allowed to finish their tenure and then we start up with the next election?
I mean, how many months do we have? About 18 months to election anyway. So, and then the advisory committee is yet to sit. I don't know whether they started sitting this morning. Now, after the advisory committee, then the Constituent Assembly itself is going to be constituted. Not Constituent Assembly. The National Conference itself is going to be constituted. So, and they will take quite some time because there are serious issues that have to be discussed over a period before they finish with all that, before they compile their report. I mean, it will be almost time for this. So I think it's the right time. It will be almost time for every person in government today to go, and then a decision is taken as to what we are going to do with the
if that happens, on what basis is the next election going to be run? On this same Constitution?
Well,
the same Electoral Act?
If nothing happens between now and then, if the National Conference is not able to come up with a report before then, and if it comes up with a report before then, and the report is set aside by the National Assembly or whatever, then we are going to use this same Constitution. The Constitution will be organized on the basis of this thing called the Constitution. That's what it's going to be. Either that the report doesn't come up before then, or it has come up and it has been set aside by the National Assembly, and I'm so sure with the report of unless you come with, cosmetic issues, pedestrian matters, that's the only area that the National Assembly is expecting. But that's not what it's a surgical approach.
Why do we have so much distrust?
You see, the problem with Nigeria
in the assembly.
Yes, the problem with Nigeria, with the assembly. If I may just answer that question quickly. The assembly, from the body language of the people there, and when they talk, in fact, I just told you that the National Assembly already know what the president was after. I mean, what is after? That he's going to organize this thing as a talk show, and at the end of the day, the report must come to them for scrutiny and for ratification if need be. Areas that they want ratified, they will ratify. That is the reason they've been talking. Oh, we are in for the Senate in particular. Oh, we are in for it. We are in for it. It's a big lie. They know. That was what, Senator Abaribe said, for example.
But Senator Mark made his comments even before the president talked about it,
yes.
Or even before Senator Abaribe, confirmed what the president was saying. They too have seen the need
yes.
for a discussion. I
yes.
mean, are we not, this distrust we have for them, isn't it misplaced?
All right. Why are you saying there should be no sovereignty? Why is the National Assembly, the Senate, why is this same Senate?
Because some people argue that we've already ceded our sovereignty to them.
No, we have
them.
not. I mean, are you reading from the Constitution? The sovereignty of this nation belongs to us. to the people of this country, not to any government. They are the donees.
So what did we give them?
Eh?
What did we give them?
No, we just gave them just a bit of it. Go ahead and do this. And whatever we have given to them is spelled out in the Constitution. Every other thing which is larger than what we have in the Constitution belongs to us. We are the donors of sovereignty.
Why then do we have to wait for the president to convene a conference? Why?
No, look, there are certain people, the conference, one of the areas that we have given to the president, to the executive, is that he should govern this country, both at the center and any part thereof. So he has the right to listen to the people, and to the president, the whole of this country is his constituency, the whole of the country. All right. So he has a right to govern this country as a whole, even if we are a federation.
Isn't that us ceding our country?
We have ceded just a bit. I mean, a minuscule of this sovereignty. Look, it's just like you are trying to assist somebody. You don't give the whole of your wealth to that person. You give him a part to assist him, carry out his assignment, enough to carry out his assignment. You don't give everything. We have not given all of our sovereignty to them. We just ceded a portion that will enable them to carry out certain assignments in favor of the people. But the whole other thing we are keeping to ourselves. And we can exercise our sovereignty at any time, such as I thought we were trying to do now, by sitting down to discuss the problems concerning this country. It was almost 14, 15 years that we have become a civilian dispensation started, and all of these problems are still there. Why can't they, if you say they have all the sovereignty, why can't they exercise this sovereignty and iron out all these problems? So they don't have everything. For example, I just told you they cannot fashion a new constitution for this country. No person has been given that right to do that. It is we that must do it, a constituent assembly. The National Assembly has the right to amend the Constitution or to use the language of the Constitution to alter the provisions of the Constitution. They don't have the right to fashion out a new Constitution. We have the right to do that. And a Constituent Assembly is it to do that. You can see that we retain so much of the sovereignty of this nation. A cursory look at Section 14 tells you all that we retain the sovereignty of this nation. And we are just about to do that unless they now say, no sovereignty. If they say no sovereign national conference, then they had better forget all about it.
Well, good point for us to anchor it here this morning. Chris Akiri, many thanks for coming. He's a lawyer as well as chairman, editorial board, National Daily. Whatever the outcome, he says, we must accept it once it's from the conference.
That would be wonderful.